Hello, welcome to Math with Mr. Dobrescu to the rescue. Today we are going to graph linear equations in slope-intercept form. So let's take a look at the first example. We have y equals 2x minus 1. And let's follow a couple of steps to graph these equations. So step number one would be to get y by itself. Let's get a y, the equation, in the y form. So in this case, y is already by itself. So we don't have to do anything. We need to skip step number one. So let's go to step number two. We are going to label the m slope and the b y-intercept. Remember, the slope is the number which is in front of x. So in this case, we have 2. But we need a fraction. Remember, we need to have a rise over a run. So let's put a 1. Anytime we have a whole number, we are going to add a 1, invisible 1, underneath of that whole number, so we can have a fraction. So that will be our m. Let's label the m, 2 over 1. And now let's label the y-intercept, which is negative 1. Let's go to step number 3. We are going to graph b first. I told my students that b, because b stands for beginning, I made that up, but I just want all my students to remember that b stands for beginning, right? Because we are going to graph b first. Always graph the y-intercept where the line crosses the y-axis. So b is negative 1, so we go negative 1 from 0, right there, that's our b. And then from there we are going to go, the rise, 2 is positive, so we are going to go 2 units up, and then 1 unit to the right because 1 is positive. So 2 up, 1, 2, and 1 unit to the right, and then we get the second dot. And finally, step number 4, let's connect the dots. And voila, this is our line. This is our line for this equation. Y equals 2 over 1x minus 1. And the slope is positive. We have a positive 2 over 1x, which means that the line is going to go to the right. Line is going to the right because the slope is positive. Let's take a look at example number 2. We see in this example that y is not by itself. So in this case, we are going to subtract 2x on both sides. We need to get rid of 2x, bring 2x on the other side of the equation. So let's subtract 2x on both sides. 2x minus 2x cancel each other out. So now we have y equals, we cannot combine negative 2x and 7 because they are different terms. Let's put negative 2x first. We need the slope first, negative 2x, and then plus 7, the y-intercept. And again, in this case, we have negative 2, which is a whole number, but we do not have a fraction, which means we are going to add the invisible 1 under negative 2, and that is going to be our slope, negative 2 over 1, and positive 7 is our b, okay? And let's graph. We graph b first, y-intercept, so we go 7 units up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's our first dot. And then we go 2 units down and 1 unit to the right. So 1, 2, and 1 unit to the right, and then we do second dot. And finally, let's connect the dots. And this is our line for this equation. Remember, the slope is negative 2 over 1, which means the line goes to the left in this case. Let's look at example number 3 now. The same thing in this case, y is not by itself, so we would have to subtract 3x first on both sides. So let's subtract 3x on both sides. Three x minus 3x cancel out, so we have negative 2y equals, again we have negative 3x first, plus 4. We cannot combine them because they are two different terms. And finally, let's divide both sides by negative 2. Negative divided by negative becomes a positive y equals negative 3 divided by negative 2 becomes 3 over 2 x, and 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. And now we are ready to label the slope and the y-intercept. So 3 over 2 is our m, and negative 2 is our b. Remember, we graph b first, so let's go to negative 2 first. And then from there we go 3 units up and 2 units to the right, because both numbers are positive. So the rise is 3 units up, and then the run 2 units to the right. 1, 2, and then we draw the second dot. And finally, let's connect the dots. Oh, let me fix this line. And this is our line. The slope is positive now, 3 over 2, so the line goes to the right. Let's look at example number 4. Again, in this case, we need to get y to be by itself. We need to get the equation into the y form first. So we would have to add 4x on both sides. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other side. 4x and negative 4x cancel out. So now we have 2y equals 4x plus 8. 4x plus 8. Okay? And finally, we're going to divide both sides by 2. So we can get the y by itself. 2 divided by 2 becomes 1y equals 4 divided by 2 becomes 2. But remember, we need to have a fraction, so we're going to have 2 over 1x, and 8 divided by 2 is 4 plus 4. Now we have the equation into the y form, so we need to label the m. 2 over 1 is our m, and positive 4 is our b. Remember, we graph b first, y-intercept first, so let's go to positive 4. So we have 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's our first dot. And from there we go 2 units up and 1 to the right. So 1, 2, and another unit to the right. And this is our second dot, and let's connect the dots now. Oh, let me do the line again, I'm so sorry. Let me get a better line there. There we go. Y equals 2 over 1x plus 4. Line goes to the right since slope is positive. Let's look at the last two examples. Example 5. Sometimes we just have the y equals a number or x equals a number. And let me show you what happens when y equals a number. When y equals a number, in this case we have y equals negative 7. We are going to negative 7 on the y-axis. Negative 7 on the y-axis. So on the y-axis, we are going to negative 7 from 0. So 7 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And at negative 7, we are going to draw a horizontal line. And this is our graph, y equals negative 7. And in this case, slope is 0. You are correct. Slope is 0. Remember, the slope is parallel to the x-axis when y equals a number. On the other hand, when x equals a number, we are going to go to, on the x-axis, to this number, positive 6. So we are going to go to the left of 0, 6 units to the right of 0 actually, because 6 is positive. So let's go 6 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And instead of doing a horizontal line, we are going to go a vertical line on 6. And in this case, remember, slope is undefined. Okay, that's it. So if you guys are struggling with graphing linear equations in slope-intercept form, please review this video a couple of times and please share with your friends, your family members, because we want to make sure that everyone they have access to this information. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much. Have a good one.